We all remember how the Twin Towers were destroyed on 9/11.
It's gone! The whole tower! Holy crap!
Let's go! But there was a third huge skyscraper that collapsed that day. Unlike the Twin Towers, no plane hit Tower 7.
Building 7 is the smoking gun of 9/11.
Keep your eye on that building as they're coming down soon.
What could cause a seemingly sound 47-story building to collapse?
In the building, I heard explosions. Outside of the building, I heard explosions.
Could one use a controlled demolition on any building? Sure. Did it happen to WTC 7 on 9/11? No, it did not.
The official explanation is that ordinary fires caused its collapse. But if the official story is true, this is the first and only skyscraper in the world to have collapsed because of fire.
We're asking questions. We expect some answers.
Nearly 7 years on, and the final government report on the third tower has still not been published. We talk to witnesses who have become central figures in the controversy.
It hurts when you're being accused of mass murder.
And look at new evidence to unravel the last great mystery of 9/11.
3 words, man. Money, power, and control. That's really all it comes down to.
In the American West, the internet phenomenon that is loose change has come to town.
Because this is no longer a fringe conspiracy. This is over half the American public that fully believe that the 9/11 Commission is a cover-up at the very least.
We just know that we've been lied to in a big way, and that's why we need a new investigation.
Loose change claims a government conspiracy was behind the events of 9/11 and the ensuing wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Its makers say more than 100 million people have seen the film, making it one of the most viewed internet movies ever. Now there's a new version for the big screen. Conspiracies have become big business.
Our entire foreign and domestic policy has been based upon the events of September 11th. It has enabled the passage of Patriot Act 1 and 2.
Truth Movement is heavily centered on Building 7. And for very good reason. A lot of people are very suspicious about what went down that day.
Hidden behind the Twin Towers stood 7 World Trade Center.
It was a building that had a lot of security. There was always like police officers, undercover cops out front. It was very, very heavily guarded.
On the outside, an unremarkable building, but it had some unusual occupants. The Secret Service, the CIA, the Department of Defense, and the Office of Emergency Management, which would coordinate any response to a disaster or a terrorist attack.
You know, you have to look at what was inside Building 7. You had the largest CIA field office. You had a number of government agencies inside the building. So automatically, for a number of people, myself included, that is enough to at least raise an eyebrow.
Some say the government had to demolish Tower 7 because it's where plans were hatched for a massive conspiracy on 9/11.
Why Building 7? Let's ask the question again. As the WTC Command Center, was it the hub for the 9/11 plan?
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward. And freedom will be defended.
Some think the attack on the Twin Towers was orchestrated by the Bush administration, and the hijacked aeroplanes were guided to their targets from Tower 7. Others believe the government also wanted to destroy key files held there about corporate fraud. After its collapse, a CIA team is reported to have scoured the rubble looking for secret documents.
The people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Our government will willingly kill its own citizens for whatever gain it seems necessary, and then lie as much as they need to cover it up.
It was the third tower to collapse that day, but its destruction was never mentioned in the 9/11 Commission report. And the first official inquiry into Tower 7 was unable to be definitive about what caused its collapse.
regardless of what you think actually happened to the building, it does look like and it does resemble a controlled demolition. And I do believe, as far as I know, that's the first time it's happened in architectural history. A steel high-rise building has collapsed simply because of damage and fire.
Now a group of architects, engineers and scientists who understand buildings say the official explanation that fires cause the collapse is impossible. They argue there must have been a controlled demolition.
I saw this building, which had never been hit by a plane, come crashing straight down. I must admit, I was taken back as a physicist.
It is the most obvious example of controlled demolition with explosives.
Despite the collapse of Tower 7 making architectural history as the first skyscraper to collapse because of fire, all the steel from the 47-story skyscraper was taken away to be melted down. Some made its way into this new US Navy vessel. But it turns out one section of steel was kept. How it got to be in its present state was described by the New York Times as perhaps the deepest mystery uncovered in the investigation.
There's parts where the entire half-inch of the beam is gone, entirely dissolved right through, and so something happened to cause the steel to really thin and in some places to disappear entirely.
Critics say if you look carefully at the events of that day, there's precious little evidence of damage or fire in Tower 7. But plenty of unexplained questions that suggest something far more sinister. Tuesday, 11th of September, 2001, started like any other working day in downtown New York. But as these pictures were being filmed that morning, something extraordinary was already underway. Early that morning, the fire alarm system for the entire Building 7 was placed on test because of routine maintenance. For the next 8 hours, any alarms received from the system are to be ignored. An hour later, American Airlines Flight 11 leaves Boston's Logan International Airport.
We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York, and we need you guys we need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise?
No, this is not an exercise, not a test.
At 8:46, a Boeing 767 slammed into the North Tower.
Oh, shit!
It was carrying around 10,000 gallons of jet fuel.
I watched it. I seen it go wild. I heard the boom. See, I thought as soon as it happened, I said, was it terrorists? Because the fire department been waiting there. Like they've been waiting for them to come in. And I said, what is the fire department just sitting there for? That's what I'm thinking. Is it a conspiracy? And then I heard boom.
Straight away, the emergency operations plan was put into action, and police, fire, health and other teams were called to Tower 7.
Holy shit!
A second Boeing 767 laden with jet fuel hit the South Tower. 2 more planes had been hijacked, and the order was given to evacuate civilians from Tower 7.
Well, police department and Intel and FBI, they would tell us, yeah, we had a plane hit us in the Pentagon, and we now realize, it take too long to realize we were under attack.
What building would be attacked next? Tower 7?
It could have been a target. I felt at the time, because of where we were, could have been a serious target, and plus the other federal agencies in that building.
So the decision is made to evacuate the very office designed to respond to a terrorist attack, the Office of Emergency Management. But not everyone leaves. Unaware of the evacuation order, a member of the emergency response team heads up to the 23rd floor. He is about to be trapped inside a building on the verge of destruction. Feared dead by his family, Barry Jennings has become the key witness in the controversy over what really happened inside Tower 7.
I'm just lucky to be alive because I didn't realize, and maybe that's a good thing, I didn't realize how close I was to death.
When he reaches the Office of Emergency Management, he's shocked by what he sees.
To my amazement, nobody's there. I saw